once again in the Champions League. But the big talking point here surely has to be PSG.
Yeah, stuffed me.
This was it.
But I don't think thinking they had a chance. The Moneybags team with this experience, I don't think thinking they had a chance was some stupid idea. But they got to play. They got to actually show up. I mean, they played better in the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
Apart from the final third, obviously, but they dominated midfield over there. I just had no confidence in them tonight in the game. Add that to the fact Verratti gets sent off. Add that to the fact when you get a good chance, Mbappe doesn't square it, do the basics, then you're exposed at the back. I just never felt on tonight's performance that they looked as if they were going to get the goals.
Is it as simple as if they had Neymar, this would be different?
No, I think if you're playing Real Madrid in the Champions League, you've got to be better. You cannot afford the mistakes that PSG made. Now, you could point to Neymar absence and say a bit bad luck in that regard, but you don't give the ball away in midfield like did Dani Alves. You're not as poor with a clearance as Rabiot was for their second goal. When you're staring down when you're right in front of Keylor Navas and Cavani is in front of his man, you don't go for the shot. Those are just mistakes that you cannot afford to make against this Real Madrid side, or you get punished.
When it first came out that it was going to be PSG against Real Madrid and we were having the conversation, the one thing that I kept bringing up and I thought it was important to realize is that PSG hadn't faced any negativity.
Yeah.
Everything had been beautiful for PSG this season. Everything had been ideal. And Mbappe scoring goal, and Neymar scoring goals, and Cavani. And everybody felt so good about PSG. In this particular tie, when you look overall, they face that negativity. They face something that they hadn't faced before. And oh, by the way, it is Real Madrid. And we didn't see a reaction from them. And so then it goes back to this group of players that have now failed time and time again in Champions League. How do they overcome adversity? And they weren't able to do so today. Whether it's with Neymar or without Neymar, this team today was not going to beat Real Madrid. Not on the performance individually and as a group, and on the mistakes that you're talking about. And I go back to in the second goal by Casemiro, Javier Pastore, who comes on as a substitute, loses the ball, then tracks the play at a slow jog. Walks into his own 18-yard box, and it is Casemiro who has run past him in order to score this goal. Yes, it's a missed clearance by Rabiot, but you look at the effort by Pastore, and that gives you a picture of what PSG was in this second game.
And by the way, we can talk about, well, I don't even want to talk about Neymar because he's not there, and he spent half the season balancing boots on his head in the French league, because that's some sort of circus for PSG. But this isn't the circus.
Yeah.
It's the big boys rules here. Real Madrid were nowhere near full strength. I know Vasquez and Asensio have done well recently. I know Asensio at the start of the season, he was hoping he was going to get more game time. It hasn't quite worked out. But when you've got Kroos and Modric on the bench, and I know they've had injuries, then it's hardly Zinedine Zidane's preferred first 11.
Sure.
Yet PSG, this kind of self-anointed best team in Europe at the start of the season by some in Paris, have fallen way short. I mean, I think it's a huge blow for anybody looking to punch a hole into the real guys that have been winning it or been in the final year in, year out. We talked about PSG, we talk about Man City, the new guys in the block. They've got to prove themselves. Man City are going to have to do it. PSG failed.
If you rewind to September, when PSG beat Bayern at home, they looked really good, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think we were talking about them. They were the best team.
But Bayern were struggling then. Mm-hmm. Ancelotti was under
even
pressure.
Having said that, they were superb. They were excellent. They were super throughout the rest of the campaign. How have they dropped off so much? Was it just the quality of the opposition? Is that the way to say it?
Let's not forget that when the first game against Real Madrid was coming up, there were quotes by Neymar saying, "I can't wait to play Real Madrid."
Yeah.
And we're so excited about this. We're looking forward to this. And it's like, careful. We were talking about it during the game that Real Madrid is like a bad guy in a horror movie. You have to kill him and stab him and make sure they're dead and kill him again and shoot him again and run over them. And they did not do that at the Bernabeu. And when you allow a team that has the talent like Real Madrid to just hang around the way that they did at the Bernabeu, then you put yourself in trouble. And it's exactly what happened here with PSG and Real Madrid. They thought that they were better than Real Madrid, and they might have been over long stretches in that first game. But you let this team hang around, and they have enough quality to hurt you. PSG, for as good as they have been, when you play against a real team, like it is for Real Madrid, then be careful.
How much is the French league handicapping PSG? Like Ali says, you don't get any negativity. You get tested for the first time, really, and it's against Real Madrid in the knockout
stage. Well, what I
stages.
would say is that I suppose there's been two of them at times, and now we've got Atletico Madrid, and some others. But there has been periods where Barca or Real Madrid have been successful, and they've been shellacking most teams in Spain. Maybe it's not happening right at this moment, but it has happened before. So it hasn't always been a hurdle for them. So maybe I don't know if it's maybe just a ready-made excuse for them or not, because I've seen Barcelona and Real Madrid at any given time wiping the floor with everybody in Spain and then winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
So it's worked for them.
Look, for me, that's just too easy a note for PSG. You know you're going to be dominating the French league just by virtue of your spending and who you have at your disposal. Manchester City are running away with the Premier League. Bayern Munich have been running away with the Bundesliga for years on end. Yet still, I suspect that we'll be having a totally different discussion about them after their second legs. Now, the thing for me is, in September, as you mentioned, everything's good for PSG. You sign Mbappe, you sign Neymar, everything's great. As Craig points out, people are balancing boots on their head and all sorts. Now, this is where you have to be judged. And this is not about getting through the group stage. This is not about Carlo Ancelotti's Bayern Munich, because let's remember, Jupp Heynckes' Bayern Munich beat PSG.